The little girl was standing alone in the rain, trembling beside a broken streetlight, clutching a torn teddy bear as cars rushed past without stopping. Her small shoes were soaked, her hair messy, and her eyes full of silent fear. People walked by, too busy with their lives to notice the fragile moment unfolding on the dark sidewalk. But one man did notice. A tired single father, carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, slowed his steps when he saw her. And in that quiet moment, neither of them knew that this simple act of kindness would soon collide with a shocking truth involving a billionaire mother, a hidden past, and a secret that would change their lives forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness can change lives and that everyone deserves a second chance, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in compassion, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories that touch the heart. Your support helps these stories reach more people who need hope. Daniel Harper had never imagined his life turning out the way it did. 5 years earlier, he had been an ordinary man with a small construction job, a loving wife, and dreams that felt achievable. But life had a cruel way of rewriting plans. His wife, Emily, had passed away suddenly after a brief illness, leaving him alone with their 3-year-old son, Noah. Since then, every day had been a quiet battle between exhaustion and responsibility. Daniel worked long hours repairing houses, fixing broken fences, painting walls, and doing whatever jobs he could find just to keep the small apartment and provide food for Noah. There were nights when he skipped dinner so his son could eat more, and mornings when he woke before sunrise, already worried about bills that kept piling up. On that rainy evening, Daniel had just finished a long shift repairing a leaking roof. His back ached and his clothes were damp, but he was eager to get home to Noah, who was waiting with the elderly neighbor who sometimes helped watch him. As Daniel walked through the dim street, that was when he noticed the little girl standing alone beneath the flickering light. She couldn't have been older than 6. Her small hands gripped the worn teddy bear as if it were the only safe thing left in the world. Rain dripped from her hair, and her eyes looked lost in a way no child's eyes ever should. Daniel stopped immediately. Something inside him tightened. Maybe it was the memory of his own son, or maybe it was simply the instinct of someone who had already known too much loss. He knelt beside her slowly so he wouldn't scare her. The girl looked up at him with wide eyes but didn't run away. Instead, she seemed frozen between fear and hope. Daniel gently asked if she was lost. She nodded. That was all it took. Without hesitation, Daniel removed his jacket and wrapped it around her small shoulders. He guided her under the awning of a nearby store to keep her out of the rain while he tried to figure out what to do next. She spoke very little, only whispering her name, Lily. When Daniel asked where her parents were, she simply shook her head. Something about the situation felt strange. Lily's clothes, although now dirty from the rain, were clearly expensive. Her shoes looked brand new. Even the teddy bear she held was the kind usually found in high-end toy stores. But none of that mattered to Daniel in that moment. All he saw was a frightened child who needed help. He called the local police station, reporting that he had found a lost girl. They told him officers would check missing person reports but suggested he bring her to the nearby station if possible. The rain had grown heavier, and Lily looked exhausted. Daniel hesitated for a moment before making a decision. He would take her home first, dry her off, and then bring her to the station once she was safe and warm. His small apartment was modest and cluttered with the realities of single-parent life. Toys lay scattered across the living room floor, and the scent of simple homemade soup filled the air. Noah, now 8 years old, looked up in surprise when his father walked in with the unfamiliar girl. Within minutes, Lily was wrapped in a warm blanket while Noah offered her one of his toy cars to play with. Children had a remarkable ability to accept strangers without suspicion, and soon the two were quietly sitting on the floor together. For the first time that evening, Lily smiled. Daniel felt a strange warmth in his chest as he watched them. But across the city, panic was spreading. Helena Vaughn, one of the most powerful businesswomen in the country, was experiencing the worst night of her life. Helena was a billionaire CEO known for building one of the largest technology companies in the world. Her life was normally controlled with precision, private security, luxury homes, carefully scheduled meetings. But none of that mattered now. Her 6-year-old daughter, Lily Vaughn, was missing. Security footage showed Lily wandering away from a charity event earlier that evening. Despite the immediate search by security teams and police, she had vanished into the busy city streets. Helena sat in the back of a black SUV, gripping her phone with shaking hands as updates poured in. Every minute felt like an eternity. Then suddenly, a call came through from the police station. A man had reported finding a girl matching Lily's description. The SUV turned instantly. Within 20 minutes, Helena Vaughn arrived outside Daniel's apartment building, accompanied by security guards and police officers. Daniel had just finished making hot cocoa for the kids when a loud knock echoed through the small apartment. When he opened the door, he was stunned by the scene outside. Police officers stood beside sharply dressed security personnel. And in the center of them all was a woman whose presence seemed both powerful and deeply shaken. Helena Vaughn stepped forward. The moment Lily saw her, she ran across the room and hugged her mother tightly. Helena dropped to her knees, holding her daughter as if she would never let go again. Tears streamed down her face. Daniel quietly stepped back, giving them space. Relief filled the room, but something unexpected was about to happen. Helena eventually stood and turned toward Daniel. Her eyes studied him carefully, almost as if she were searching for something she couldn't quite understand. Then she asked him a question that made the entire room fall silent. She asked if his name was Daniel Harper. Daniel froze. Slowly, he nodded. Helena's expression changed in a way that suggested shock, recognition, and something far more complicated. She whispered something that made Daniel's heart stop. Years ago, before Daniel had even met his wife Emily, he had briefly dated a young woman while working a temporary construction job in another city. The relationship had ended suddenly when she moved away for a major career opportunity. That woman was Helena Vaughn. And Lily, the little girl he had just rescued from the rain, might actually be his daughter. The room seemed to shrink around him. Daniel struggled to process the words. Helena explained that after their brief relationship years ago, she had discovered she was pregnant. At the time, Daniel had already moved away and changed jobs, and she had no way to find him. Her career was just beginning to explode into global success, and she made the difficult decision to raise Lily alone without disrupting Daniel's life. Until now, finding Lily in Daniel's home felt like fate playing an impossible trick. Daniel looked at the small girl sitting on the couch beside Noah, laughing quietly as they shared toys. A wave of emotions crashed through him, confusion, disbelief, and something deeper that he could barely name. Could it really be true? A DNA test would confirm the truth days later. Lily was his daughter. Suddenly Daniel's small, struggling life had collided with a world of unimaginable wealth and responsibility. But what surprised Helena the most was what she witnessed over the next few days. Despite the shocking news, Daniel didn't ask for money. He didn't demand anything. All he cared about was spending time getting to know Lily. Helena began visiting more often, watching how naturally Lily bonded with Daniel and Noah. She saw something she couldn't buy with billions of dollars: simple love, patience, and genuine warmth. For the first time in her incredibly successful life, Helena realized that wealth had never been the most important thing a child needed. What Lily needed was family. Months later, a new chapter began. Daniel didn't become a billionaire, and Helena didn't suddenly abandon her powerful career. Instead, they found a balance that none of them expected. Daniel remained the humble, hardworking father he had always been, but now Lily was part of his life too. Helena ensured both children had every opportunity in the world, but she also made sure they spent time in the small apartment that had first welcomed her daughter with nothing but kindness. Because that night in the rain had proven something powerful. Sometimes the most life-changing moments begin with the simplest act of compassion. And sometimes fate brings people together in ways no one could ever predict. Before we finish, if this story touched your heart in any way, please like this video, share it with someone who believes kindness still exists in the world, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this. And here is a special request for you. Comment below with the word kindness if you believe one small act of compassion can change someone's life forever. Because Daniel never expected that helping a lost child would reveal a hidden daughter, reconnect him with the past, and create a family he never knew he had. But sometimes, life's greatest miracles begin on the darkest, rainiest nights, when someone simply chooses to care.